Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into something pretty extraordinary. It's not your usual academic paper or, a news report. It's this incredibly powerful, almost poetic monologue from what seems to be the lion itself speaking. Our mission today is really to unpack the message in this unique piece. It touches on, ownership, respect, identity, especially when facing exploitation. Okay, let's get into this.
I am the lion, not just a beast of the wild. I am a king, a symbol, a spirit. The roar you fear is the cry of Africa itself, echoing through centuries of power, pain, and pride. Yet now I see you, cameras in hand, sneaking, snapping, selling my face like a souvenir, turning my soul into your side hustle. But did you ask? Did you honor me first? Did you seek my spirit's permission before you captured my image to chase your coins? I am not your logo. I am not your clickbait. I am not your wallpaper or your trophy on TikTok. I am alive. I breathe. I rule. And in my kingdom, we do not tolerate thieves of essence. If you eat from the lion's hunt and you did not run with us in the chase, you owe Huser. You owe. So hear me now. If you take my image, if you profit from my presence without reverence, without return, without respect, then the roar that once warned will now curse. A curse not from claws or fangs, but from truth, from the ancestors, from the earth itself.
Okay, let's get into this. It's a truly unique perspective on things we all kind of grapple with.
It really is. You've got this allegorical voice, right? The lion, a symbol of immense power, spirit, and it's directly confronting those who are trying to just commodify its image. It sets up this core tension immediately. What happens when something, whether it's a symbol, a whole culture, maybe even a person, feels like its very essence is being stolen, used without any real permission or honor?
So let's start there. Who is this lion, according to the monologue? It says it's much more than just a beast of the wild. It actually says, I am a king, a symbol, a spirit. So it's not just physical. It's claiming something much deeper, almost spiritual, wouldn't you say?
Oh, precisely. Yeah. And it goes further. It says its roar isn't just a sound. It's the cry of Africa itself,
Right?
echoing through centuries of power, pain, and pride. So you feel this living history, this direct line to a place, a heritage. It's profound. And that connection, that's really the foundation for its whole grievance, its demands.
Right. And from that place, that deep identity, it lays out its complaint. It talks about seeing people with cameras in hand, sneaking, snapping, selling my face like a souvenir. That's not just observation. It feels like a direct accusation.
Absolutely. And then the line, turning my soul into your side hustle.
Wow. Yeah. That's incredibly
It
raw.
is. And it's very clear it refuses to be just a commodity. It says, I am not your logo. I am not your clickbait. I am not your wallpaper or trophy on TikTok. The real issue here isn't just the taking of the image, It's the complete lack of permission, the lack of honor. The lion asks point blank, did you ask? Did you honor me first? Did you seek my spirit's permission before you captured my image to chase your coins?
That's powerful. Seeking the spirit's permission. That really shifts things, doesn't it? It's not just about legal rights.
Not at all. It's ethical, spiritual even.
And it really drives home its autonomy. It insists, I am alive, breathing, ruling its own kingdom where, quote, thieves of essence aren't welcome. It's drawing a very clear line.
A very clear line. And that leads us to this really intriguing part, the demand for something back. Reciprocity, reverence. It introduces this concept of owing Huer, H-U-E-R. It says, if you eat from the lion's hunt and you did not run with us in the chase, you owe Huer. You owe.
Huer. Okay. So if you benefit from something, the hunt, the image, the essence,
Yeah.
but you didn't put in the work, didn't participate in the chase,
You owe. There's a debt.
there's a debt. It sounds some kind of ancient principle, maybe, like you owe for the shared gain. So the lion demands reverence, return, respect, basically, from those taking its image for profit. Could her be like a spiritual equity? Or the value you can't quite see but still have to honor?
That's a great way to put it. Spiritual equity. It's like this ethical ledger, a moral compensation that goes beyond just legal stuff. It pushes us to think about our moral obligations when we benefit from something someone else created or embodied.
And if you don't pay this Huer, the warning is pretty severe.
It is. Stark, really. The lion says if the demands aren't met, the roar that once warned will now curse.
Curse? Wow. That escalates things. But it specifies, right? It's not a physical threat.
Exactly. Not from claws or fangs, which is what you might expect. Instead, it's from truth, from the ancestors, from the earth itself.
That is chilling. A curse rooted in truth, in heritage. Not just physical harm. It makes you think about, well, a different kind of justice, a deeper consequence.
It really does. And what's insightful is that this isn't about physical revenge. It's spiritual. It's moral. The curse feels like a symbol for the real cost of exploitation, the erosion of trust, of legacy, of identity itself. And, those kinds of damages, they often hit harder and last longer than any, say, legal penalty. They impact memory, spirit.
Stepping back a bit, it's amazing how this lion's voice, this allegory, just immediately connects to so many things happening right now.
Absolutely.
So what does this mean for us, for you listening? When we share things or remix them or even just look at stuff online, images, symbols, what's our responsibility to the original source, to its essence? Are we sometimes eating from that lion's hunt without having run in the chase?
It definitely encourages us, I think, to consider those unseen costs when the creators, the originators, aren't really honored or compensated. The lion's grievance, it really mirrors concerns about, say, cultural appropriation, doesn't it? When an image or a dance, a story, a symbol from one group is just taken, spread around, maybe profited from by someone else without real understanding or respect. It's like that same theft of essence. Every click, every share, every use, maybe it carried this ethical weight we don't always think about.
So the lion's plea, it's really this powerful metaphor for that universal cry against being used without acknowledgement, without respect. It's not just about an animal. It could be an artist's work, a community's traditions, even our own personal data, maybe?
Right. It challenges us to think beyond just copyright law, the legal minimums. It pushes towards a deeper kind of ethical engagement, thinking about that horror, perhaps.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, I think. We've gone deep into this lion's monologue, this powerful message, and it leaves us with this pretty compelling question, right? In a world where images, identities are just so easily grabbed and shared, how do we, as people who consume and create things online, how do we make sure we're not becoming these thieves of essence? And maybe more profoundly, how do we actually run with the chase before we, partake in the hunt?
And that leads to a final thought, maybe for you to ponder. How might this hutter, this concept the lion speaks of, how might that show up, or how should it show up in our own interactions, especially within this huge ocean of content that we all swim in, consume, and contribute to every single day?